Welcome. I'm Darth Vader. You can see my name is there. It's not Darth Vader, it's Darth Vader. In any case, I'm here because a year ago I made a video, and in that video it was for people who were ready to begin meditation. I said, start meditating today, and then I gave a method of how to do that. But I know that there are a lot of people who are not at that step, but they're at the step of thinking, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. So today I'm here to address you and explain why really it's important to meditate. What is the real reason why you should do it? So I want to cut to the chase in a sense that there's a big problem that all people have. And basically the problem is to find happiness, true happiness and satisfaction, and just to really be absolutely content with all things. Now the problem of that is that most people, I could say 100%, 99%, we're trying to pursue that in a way which is impossible because we have an unlimited thirst for that happiness and that satisfaction. And we're searching it in a world of finite things. Everything is finite. So a lot of people want to have money. Everybody wants it because that will give you security and everything. And some people accumulate a lot, and even they reach 1 million. I never did that, so I don't know. But I'm told that even when people have 1 million, they want more because they're not sure. Maybe that 1 million could disappear. So it's that money, which however much it is still finite and it's perishable. It could disappear and you don't have enough and you're not sure about that. So that's the way it is in this world, even with little things like I have an ice cream cone, it tastes great, but I finish it, I want the second one or another thrill. So humans, me included, you, we're searching for more and more and more and more. And somehow we're not getting that more. So think about that. And so the yogis, the philosophers, they say, the answer is easy. The answer is that this ultimate thing cannot be attained in the physical world. The physical things are all finite, they're going to perish, you know that, or they're not enough to satisfy our thirst. So they said you have to go to a spiritual source. That spiritual source is where you feel true satisfaction, true happiness. So this is a kind of a philosophical thing. It may seem distant from us, but I want to show you two things. One is that it's not distant, and two, that even if you pursue something which seems a little bit distant, it will give some immediate benefits in the day-to-day world. So first, I want to address this thing about, well, where is this spiritual paradise, this nirvana, the Buddhists call it nirvana. Where is it? How is it? What is it? I say that it's very close. It's very close to you. So each of us, we can say, I exist. I exist, right? We can do that, every one of us, because we have a mind, and our mind can do that. But we can make another statement. We can say, I know I exist. I know I exist. So when we say I exist, it's a thought in the mind. Our mind is saying, I exist. So we all have a mind, if we can say that. But what's going on with this? I know I exist. I know I exist. There's something deeper than the mind. It's a witness of the mind. This is something, it's an interesting place. It's the witnessing consciousness. It's the witnessing consciousness. And all of us have that. We all have that within us, that witnessing consciousness. The yogis call it the Atman, the soul. So we have that. And so what's the difference of this witnessing consciousness and this mind which says, I exist, this mind which says, I'm a yogi, I'm an American, I'm a Russian, I'm a this, I'm a that, this mind which sees so many things in front of me. It sees the pond outside the window, it sees this, it sees that. The mind is this active mind. The mind which is insulted if someone calls me a fool. The mind which is elated when someone says, you're wonderful. So we have this mind. This mind is there. But beyond the mind, there is a witnessing entity. And the witnessing entity is calm. It's peaceful. So the mind is like, it's like a punching bag. So a punching bag, it gets punched and it goes this way. And then punched, it goes that way. And in life, we're working in we're like a punching bag. Someone praises us and we go one way. Someone denigrates us, we go in the other direction. So we have this punching bag. The ego is being battered. It's being sometimes praised and nourished and elated, but it also goes down. So the yogis, the philosophers say, you don't want to stay in this place. You should retract the mind and go back to the witnessing consciousness, the tranquil, pure consciousness. And this witnessing consciousness is where happiness really is. And not only that, this witnessing consciousness is just a drop in a big ocean. And by going to that place and then finally emerging that drop in the huge ocean, then you get the true satisfaction. So that's basically, in a nutshell, what the philosophers and the mystics were trying to do, is to do that, is to get out of the rat race of this mind. The mind is in the rat race, even though we're physically in a rat race of working and trying to survive in the world, but it's also going on in the mind. So the mystics of old, the philosophers of old, they said we should get off that treadmill and we should retreat, in a sense, or go back to the inner source and then enjoy the peace, enjoy the happiness. There's another thing about it, is that the mystics, the tantric mystics from ancient India, they said that the universe is born from bliss and goes to bliss. So what is the nature of that consciousness? It's happy, it's blissful. So this is the essence of yoga. And it may seem distant. Well, I'm not a mystic. I am, but you may not be. You could be an accountant, you can be a lawyer, a doctor, this or that, somebody, a machinist, a woodworker, anything. You're far from a mystic. But you have that, within you, you have that potential. So it's there, it's very close. But I want to say another thing. Well, first thing I want to say is that if you do meditation, that's the best way to get to that place. And I want to talk a little bit about that. Because several years ago, it was over 55 years ago, when I first became interested in mystical things, and I wanted to find, I want to find that happiness. Where is that nirvana? And so I read a lot. I read a lot of things. And what I found was that the people who enjoyed that state of higher consciousness and that tranquility and that mystic awareness, who were these people? They were people, they were different from different races and different religious backgrounds, you can say even, but they had one thing in common. And that one thing in common was they meditated. They meditated, whether it be the Zen Buddhists, even Christian mystics. Even they say in the Bible, Jesus went out in the desert, for 40 days. What did these mystics, these people? They had one thing in common. they meditated. So that's why I reached a phase in my life I said, I must learn meditation. I must learn meditation. So that's an important thing. But like I said, you may not be yet at that stage where you're crying for mystic awareness or God consciousness or cosmic consciousness, but you exist in this world, and you have some difficulties. Everybody has difficulties. We have difficulties. Sometimes our emotions are not controlled, and sometimes we have psychic, mental. We can't remember things. We're not so sharp in our mind. Things like this are there, and if there was a process where we could improve all of these things of the mind and have a greater capacity to remember things, to even we would have better judgment, and our mind would be clear. And finally, all of us would benefit if we could have more love and compassion. There's a story, I don't know if it's true or not, but my one of my yoga teachers, he used to go around, he'd tell the story. He said, yeah, I once knew a businessman, and he was asking, he said to me, if I meditate, will it help me to be a better businessman? I would say, I'm not the guy who was asked this question, but I would say yes, it will, but in some ways, because it will help your memory and this and that. But my teacher answered to him, he said, look, when you go home at night, does your child want to see a better businessman or someone with compassion and love? So meditation, that's one of the other benefits of it. It will open up your heart. So there are all of these, like when I say side benefits, it will improve your memory, it'll improve your capacity to do things in this world. It will make you a better functioning human being if you can work on your mind, if you can observe your mind and control your mind. You'll be a better person, and at the end you'll also be a loving person. So these are the reasons why you should meditate. To be a better person on all levels, whether it be on the physical level, to do your job sharper and clearer and better, but also on the compassionate level, to love your fellow human beings, love your family, to be a better person. So this is what meditation can do, and this is why you should meditate. You must meditate. I also went to a lecture 55 years ago or so, 56, whatever, and there was one Indian yogi there. He couldn't speak English, or at least not well enough to give a lecture, so his whole lecture was translated. It was translated. But I remember one phrase that kept going on, and he repeated it several times. He said, you must meditate. You must meditate. So why must you meditate? Because you must meditate because that is the path to reaching the inner awareness, that place which is beyond the punching bag and the rat race of this world. That's the place of peace and the place of compassion. And meditation is the method of how to do that. And all the great philosophers and mystics of different places, they did some inner practice to do this. They had to have that's how they needed some quiet. They all went out into the forest. They went out into the cave. They went to the mountain. They needed an inner practice, and this is what we need. But you don't have to go into a cave or a mountain or forest, but within your own home you can do it. So that's what meditation is about. So then, when I was convinced I should learn meditation, but there was one problem also. There's so many kinds of meditation. That was another problem. I think I saw a book, I'm not sure, maybe I did. Maybe it's my mind playing game, but 52 methods of meditation. So there's so many methods. I don't know if there's a book like that or not, but there could be a book. You could write a book like that, 52 Methods of Meditation. But the way to do it, though, is you have to find one method that works for you. That's what you need, not 52. So what is that one method? So I found one. I tried a few. I tried a few different methods, and I never got satisfaction. I didn't know, am I doing it right or not? But one time, after I saw that monk who said, you must meditate, you must meditate, you must meditate, he left that place. I couldn't learn from him or his people around him. But the next day, I saw a poster up on it was a college bulletin board. I used to work I worked in a college library, university library there, and I saw the poster, and it said two things which interested me: learn meditation, and free of charge. So free of charge was attractive to me because I was not wealthy, I never have been, but that was attractive because I had seen some methods which was a little bit costly, you know. So, and not actually, I was not worried about the cost so much. The main thing was I was not confident I could do it. So I was thinking, yeah, well, I'll pay this and then I'll lose it all because I can't do it. So I was attracted by this idea that it could be learned free of charge. So I went there, and I called up the place with the people who put up the poster. I said, can I learn meditation? They said, why don't you attend a lecture of the yogi first and then you can learn? So I said, okay, that's reasonable. So I went, and then I liked it. And then the next day I went there to learn. And the yogi taught me, I'm ahead of the game now, I'm ahead of the game, but he taught me a mantra. So that's what I want to get into. He taught me a mantra. So he taught me something, a word to do. And then after he taught me, I went out and there was a waiting room where all the other people were waiting. And then I sat down and I started to do the meditation. And I had one feeling. I had the feeling, this time I'm going to be successful. And you may hear some geese who just flew over my house. This time I'm going to be successful. And I'm still doing it. So in that way I am successful. So now I'm getting ahead of the game. I said, what the method was, it was mantra meditation. So mantra meditation is the method that I've been doing for all these, 56 years or something like that. 55, 56, it's in between now. So that's what I've been doing. Because mantra meditation can bring you to this deep place where you're not perturbed by the ups and the downs of the world. And in the process of going there, it will sharpen your mind to make you a better human being. So this is mantra meditation. And it works in a very simple way. As you think, so you become. As you think, so you become. Think about that. We have many suggestions that are given to us. Someone says, you're a great person. Someone says you're an idiot. Someone says this, someone says that. These are outer suggestions. And on top of the outer suggestions, we're inner suggestions. We're kind of self-hypnotizing ourselves. We say, I can't do this. I say, I can do this. We say this, I'm that. We have many ideas about ourselves. So we need positive suggestions. That's why some people paint affirmations up on the refrigerator, on this place and that. You know, I am a good person, I am this, I'm this. Affirmations, right? But mantra meditation is a positive, I call it concentrated, positive thinking. So we're going to we're going to meditate on something. What are we going to meditate on? Our greatest quality. We're meditating on our greatest quality. That's the secret, actually, of success. We should think about our good qualities and reinforce them and make them stronger. We never meditate or think about our defects, because as you think, so you become. So I actually had a good, in my life, a good outer suggestion given to me when I was about 4 or 5 years old. My grandmother looked at me, she said to everybody there, "He's a very smart boy." I believed her. So I used to do well in school, and I was academically successful because I was told, I was given that encouragement. So we need that encouragement. So we have to encourage ourselves. So we should encourage ourselves. But I can encourage you by saying, yes, whatever you are, I'm going to give you an outer suggestion. I'll encourage you, like my grandmother gave to me. Whatever you are, rich or poor, whatever your station in life, whatever you have achieved, whatever good things you did, whatever bad things you did, deep down inside, you are great. That the force that guides the stars is inside of you. That's that tranquil place, that where your Atman is, where you're witnessing consciousness. Your basic soul is great. You are great. But my outer suggestion, just here on YouTube, in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, is not enough. You need a positive inner suggestion, which you have to practice. And that's what meditation is. So when you meditate, you're meditating on your greatest quality. What is that greatest quality? It's that consciousness, it's that love. It's that love. We're meditating on that. So you're not meditating now, yes, I'm here, I'm a sack of skin and bones, and like this, I'm dressed in orange, crazy uniform. I want to say something about your uniform. Don't be afraid of it. Actually, in my days, I was attractive when I saw that. These days, I know people are not attractive. But in any case, you're not what you're wearing. You're not this. You're not. There's something deeper, and that's beautiful. So let's meditate on that beautiful thing. So the mantra that you get will be reminding you of your most beautiful essence, and meditate only on that. That's what the meditation is. Now, the reason why I was afraid of losing my $100 for some people who were charging in those days, that's what they were charging. That's a lot of money these days. If it was in $1970, that's a lot of money. I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to do it because my mind is just jumping here and there. Exactly. Our mind is always jumping from here and there. And you'll find it difficult. If I tell you to meditate on I'm not going to tell you to meditate on nothing, but I'll tell you to meditate on one thing. And if I tell you to meditate on one thing, you'll be thinking about what this thing and that thing and that thing and this thing, and the mind is jumping. It's jumping. You're normal. Don't worry about that. But what you can do, when you practice the exercise, you can bring your mind back. Bring your mind back. That is the exercise of meditation. It's not, in the beginning, it could be like conflicting in a way. There's conflict there. Your mind is jumping here and there. Also, your body is not yet used. You have to learn how to sit still. That's another lesson we'll talk about sometime, another time if you want. But in any case, you have to learn a method of meditation. And it would take some time. You'll be jumping around. But today you get 10 seconds of concentration. You get 20 seconds. You get 30 seconds. And after a while, you'll start to feel more peaceful. And not only that, in the beginning, you may not know if it's working or not. Just like I was when I was trying all those other, I don't know, is this working? Is this thing any good? You may not know. But one thing will happen. I've experienced it. I've seen it in many cases. Other people will notice a change in you. They say, what are you doing? Your calmness will exude. And they will say, yeah, you must be doing something good. So my suggestion, my advice is that if you've been thinking of meditation, and if you are willing to give it a little try, then I would say you should learn the mantra meditation, which I was taught. Last year I made a video where I give an introduction to the basics of mantra meditation, and I'm going to put it up on the show notes. It'll be up on this side of the screen at the end. And if you just go there, that's a great way for you to begin your meditation journey starting today. So you can do it. So just go up on, when you see the link, it'll be up there. Or if you don't see that, it'll be in the show notes. So take a look at that and start meditation today. Why not? And if you have enjoyed what I've been doing here today, give a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can subscribe to the channel. And if you have any friends who might benefit from this suggestions that I've been giving today, then share the video with them. That'd be great. So that's all I have to say, and I just bid farewell in the style of the yogis. Namaskar. I greet you with my mind and all the love and cordiality of my heart, and I hope to see you again. Thank you so much, and take care.